My job.
I'll show you how to change it.
Okay.
You can't do that.
I can, I don't want to come into my house.
You can't send no link to no food.
What
is it? What is it?
Let us see, where's it at? They keep looking for it.
Oh, really?
I'm not giving y'all none of my meat. I'm just going to have to deliver it to my job. So I can put it in the freezer at once and then take it home when I get it.
Oh, really?
I like
But they ain't gonna know what's in the box. It's just gonna say body work. Premium food.
That's true.
You said that you're from Kansas City. Did you send the damn one?
I didn't sign her. Oh, I know. She's not even started yet.
Huh? She lied. Okay.
She's fine. She calls every day.
See that?
She's ready to go. She's happy.
Okay. Good morning.
Miss Kay?
Yeah, Miss K.
We chat about every day.
Oh, man. I'm glad she's talking to me. She calls every day, though. I like that enthusiasm. I hope she does well. I hope she does well.
How you doing? See you. Good to see you.
Get on.
Yeah, we've been playing phone tag. We've been playing phone tag. What? Yeah, because Walmart happened all the time. Yeah, I mean, you know, right, but you know, they got other kinds. The one with the one that's interchangeable.
Right.
You can do it as a left, as an ice, as a
Right now.
like you. Anything about both of them work. What else they want, man? You got another one.
I think it, man. Sometimes it gets to me,
Okay.
Yeah, they don't.
This is one of their new ones though.
Fishing guy. License thing, yeah.
So are you back?
They were both, they were both.
Now, my very first time I wrote, I strikes, and I'm like, oh, Or you can sit next to William.
You can harass them the whole time. You know, I
mean, very first time I did it was when that first time.
They talk about on the radio. People used to go.
I went to the movies last night to see X-Men. It was alright. And then we went home and watched Texas Chainsaw. That was pretty decent, Tony. Texas Chainsaw.
Oh, I didn't watch it.
It was.
Trey Songz in it.
Yeah, the new one. It was pretty decent.
Yeah, but she had the question. She was calling somebody.
I don't know if I seen that one or not. Well, he makes good ones.
Oh, shut up, that's why I sat back here. That's why I sat back here.
That was the cat that drug in.
Shut up.
Come here, girl.
I don't break it, no.
Crazy.
Hello, everyone.
One.
Shut this door so I'm not looking. I'm getting signed up. Well, we're gonna get it in this morning. Welcome those online. Hope everything's working right. If not, text Antonio Lockett. And I'm doing my part, so fly to Minnesota. Planes work. I flew out and came back in a day. Nobody even knows, so you can do the same. Y'all feeling good?
Absolutely.
Yes.
Good. I'm kind of raspy at the moment. I'm clear up in a minute. Welcome. All I got to say is welcome. I'm gonna get it in, and I'm scanning the room because I want us to really build something special, because we do have something special. You know what I mean? But I want you to be mindful of the character traits of man. When you have something great, you'll have people that say they believe in the vision. They want something more. But then when you're in a privilege, because I don't take nothing for granted, when you're in a privileged situation and you can actually show a person how to get ahead, then when they are reluctant at doing all the necessary things that it takes to get ahead, then that's when you have to pay attention to what is being revealed to you. I always say that people are going through self-inflicted pain. They self-inflict, as Stephen Covey called it, a self-fulfilling prophet. Well, that's the first time I read it, so I'm gonna give him the credit. But self-fulfilling prophecies are when people say they don't have, when people give more glamour to not having. Come on up front, Sam. We got to see right here next to Brother Locke. Yeah, see the number 1 and number 2 orderers in the world.
Oh, yeah.
We going down in history. When we get things going, it's going to be like a Hall of Fame of order, and it's going to be William and Sam. They're going to look at them, both looking like two.
My brother from another mother.
I took William to my uncle's house, and he was downstairs in the basement. He came upstairs, and my uncle got a crazy friend named Boo. He walked up, Willie, who this Asian man over here? You can imagine these old drunk men sitting around the table, and then William come out the blue. Who this Asian man over here? And then if you could ever meet Boo, you would laugh even harder. He is a straight up character. So yeah, that fits sitting next to an Asian brother. You know. Anyway, yeah, they're gonna be on the Hall of Fame wall. The guys are order first. Marquise, you got beat at something. Yeah, they got you in your face. Yo. The life business, that's what this is all about. And as I was saying prior, that you're going to get a lot of people who will tell you, oh man, I love to do this and I love to do that. And I literally, you know, you see the show Who Would Like to Be a Millionaire? And I watch people's actions. I'm like, because actions speak louder. Y'all know that? And we have a system where it's like, you know what? We just got to go ahead and do what's necessary. But then you can't let those who don't want discourage you.
Right.
So that's why I want to stay on point to what I'm talking about, but I want to keep it simple. Believe you will succeed. We ended last week with William showing a very powerful video that was based on belief. So we have to open to realize that everything you did this last week, regardless of what you say, it is based on your belief. Tragedies happened. Bombs went off in Boston and everything else went on around the world. People got sick. You know, that happens. But you will always factor your belief with what you really, truly are doing. So if you believe that, for me, that this drink will clear you up a little bit, then you drink it. Do you believe that you'll be a part of the largest network of food distributors?
Yes.
And do you believe that you really are at the start?
Yeah.
Once you grab hold to that vision, stop looking in North Minneapolis, South Minneapolis, St. Paul, Burnsville, Apple Valley. Start seeing the whole entire country. We are not a local company. We just happen to be based here. Do y'all get that?
Yes.
We are a national company, but we're acting local. If you start acting national, then you start doing bigger and you start reaching out bigger. You get this? Now, this is Bodyworth premium foods. So when a person starts getting into a price battle with you, leave them where they sit. Because if I had more time, I would take you to allenbrothers.com and I'll let you see their 4 ribeyes cost $129. Same for 12-ounce rib. Ours don't cost $129. Now I should be charging $129. The next few things you bring up, I might get some bigger margins up in there. But I want us to understand that it's good restaurant quality. And if you don't know, Allen Brothers is like another place that ships good quality meats. You get what I'm saying? 5-star restaurant quality. So that's not I just said a name. Sometimes, you know, it's like, dude asked me the other day, what's a Bugatti? And I'm like, you ain't got no money. If you got ass, you can't afford it. So sometimes things are on such another level that we have to ask the question or tell the statement. More millionaires are created in the direct sales industry than any other industry. And then we got the logo, who wants to be a millionaire. I'm going to stay on the path and the course that I've been on about 8 weeks. But what I want you to do as I do this training, I want you to think about what you've done for the last years that's gotten you where you are today, and then realize how much time you would have to put in. See, who told you you were broke? I'm gonna go ahead and give this guy some props real quick. I wrote I want you to understand the theory and the concept and the mindset behind the book, not to promote the book. Sometimes there's a root cause for everything and anything, right? So a lot of times people say they want to know what's in the book, but they don't ask the question, why did I write the book? Because when you grow up in the same inner cities that most people are growing up in, and you hear the same excuses from close friends and family that most people say, then when you're the first to step out on your block legally. I got some friends in prison right now who stepped out too, and I was looking good, they was looking good. The difference is I can still look good, they can't no more. You know, so it's a different value to it. But when you look and say, okay, who actually told you that? It's because so many people speak broke language. I literally, as I built, work in the home business industry, you must understand that I already know that really to make it, you have to be doing a minimum of 5 or 6 appointments per day. So sometimes I talk to leaders and I'm just like, how many appointments you do today? Oh, got 2 today. And I'm like, you ain't even in the ballpark. So 5 to 6 appointments per day, that was minimum. So if you can add that 7-year period of at least that many appointments per day, besides of Sunday, then realize how many people I actually sat down and got to interview. See, why a lot of times people are thinking, I'm giving Nick, go ahead and eat. I ain't gonna bother you. But you get another fight.
No, that.
Okay. I'm like, because I'm used to him walking around and we like, okay, basketball, elbow.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. I mean, he do MMA too, so it could have been that too. So I know you could have, knocked somebody out last night. That's what I hang around rough dudes, you understand? Don't trip on me. He came up front because that's protection. Mm-hmm. Get out of line, Sam, to fight. William can too. Who told you you're broke? Came from hearing negative people constantly. Man, people don't want this. Let me tell you, when you hear somebody say people don't want it and then they sit down, what did they really say? They don't want it. Then you have to say, well, where did this come from? Because now here's the crazy thing. The biggest problem in my neighborhood right now, and it's a problem too, it's kind of funny to me, they are creating a private school within the school district. And it's an experiment, and only 28 kids can be in it next year. So this lady, friends, plays with little PJ, she tells me about it. I'm like, no, I ain't know about it. Going out talking to her. So she's like, yeah, I signed my son up, and all these others signed up and this and that. So yesterday she texted my wife and she said, did my son didn't get in? Did PJ? And we was like, we don't know. We weren't thinking about it. We didn't know about it until you told us. And we just put him in. But I'm telling you how favor works. Not even put him in, but they paid for it. But we didn't have to submit financials or nothing. And then it's like, yeah, PJ's in. I'm like, man, see, guys, got my daughter in the school that she wanted the most. Then you put my son in a private school for next year, and I ain't even had nothing to do with it, nor was I thinking about it. So now in the community, it's like, well, what was the lottery? How did they pull those kids? How did they know? I'm like, then the one's like, well, they just pulled the names out of a hat because all the kids were qualified. So my son's name had to come up, right? Mm-hmm. But here's the thing. When you move to certain zip codes and you live in certain areas, they don't look at your skin. They say, they're all rich here. Just pull one. You get the difference? And I'm like, so all the cities that's there where they're doing that so-called experiment. I'm like, oh, praise God. But it's a problem. Now, ain't that the problems we should be having though? Not the problem of how you gonna pay. The problem is, why did my child get in? Because we want our children to stay above average. But me growing up, it was get your kids to school any means. Just get them. It was teaching poverty, but not realizing you were teaching poverty. So then we have to realize that you are always being taught without realizing you're being taught. That's why we have a conscious mind and a subconscious mind. Those who can understand what's happening consciously and realize that certain habits that have been taught to them subconsciously, then you have to learn what habits to kick and what things to run with. So imagine it becomes a habit to make right decisions when it comes to bettering yourself, when it comes to thinking, when it comes to advisement. So we have to make sure that we do believe we will succeed. So now imagine you sit down to tell someone about this business and you're just doing that. You're telling them, you need to get in this. It's a bit different attitude. Like, well, let me tell you why our company is good. I don't compare. A lady the other night was trying to compare marbles to marbles. It's like, well, some companies' meat isn't grass-fed all the way to the end. I'm like, it's grass-fed. It's grass-fed. It's grass-fed. But do you mind if I recruit some new people? Yes, I mind. And I'm just like, I'm looking her dead in the eye though. And I'm like, so you got to watch people look at me in the eye because their eye starts doing this. To me, that's like spooky. And I'm like, your eyes ain't even straight, lady. You're all over the place. You're doing like, because I'm just trying to figure out how to even take your people. I'm like, wow. So you want to put me on a reservation? You must understand who told you were broken. Then you have to go out and function like you're rich, act like you're rich, think like you're rich, and never succumb to fear of anyone or anything. So if a person really grabbed the concept, then they'll realize that who told you you were broke was someone who wanted you to stay broke. That's why they would tell you that. You get this? So we got to go deeper. So then after we did this, say, okay, now you're not broke. Because from the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaks. So if you go around timidly telling people about it, no, you got to posture up. You know, it's funny. There are people, you know, fellas probably understand this a whole lot better, but in a man and a woman relationship, sometimes a man can say a lot of little nice things to a woman, and she ain't responding. Call out her name real quick. Look at you, Bert. That was you. Wrong. You're wrong. You told on yourself. But the whole point is, we respond, not realizing, to negative, but we don't respond to niceness. You get what I'm saying? But that same response, that attitude that will make you say, oh, we got to get that attitude to say, you know what? This is about to be crazy. This is about to be big. You need to come on and do this. I heard stuff like that don't work. Who told you that? You see that? You question them. That's all I'm doing. Say, well, who told you you're broke and why do you listen to them? So it isn't saying go get the book. It's saying understand the root cause of what's happened to a nation of people. And then ask the question, who told you that? Who do you believe actually told your mother's mother's mother that she ought to be thankful for the little that's on her table? Because she should be thankful that that's on your table. And when I do you wrong, turn the other cheek. But you got to understand that there was a time when you could only read certain portions of the Bible. So people would only say, this is all you read. But now when it's saying, give and it comes back to you, you'd be walking in expectation. When you know that sow a seed, you reap harvest, you're now going to sow seeds to reap the harvest. Now call those things that be not as though they were. Now you're going to start calling a life that isn't existing for you yet. You're going to start calling that into existence. So once you get this, then somebody else is going to come and tell you that's not realistic. Why did you tell? I asked people, why did you say that about people? They're like, huh? I mean, you just said people don't make it. Why do you want me to know that? Why do you want me to know that people normally don't make it? So if you want to give me stats, 95% of the people, oh yeah, that's why 5% of people got money. We show that stat every year all the time. So therefore, what you telling me, not to push to be in the 5%, you have to go. Words my kids can't say. They can't say can't. That's like a bad word. Can't say never. That's like a bad word. So we got to understand this. Like when you meet somebody now and you're going out to do this business, you got to believe you'll succeed. The number one thing that's holding a person's up is their belief. The minute you like, you know what, I'm gonna make $1 million doing this, then all your actions will line up. All of them. I had a gentleman tell me, oh, yeah, I fell off. I just had to take care of some stuff. And I'm right there on your heels and said, oh, let me explain something to you. You have fallen. falling off, but I'm telling you, it's out of love. It's like all these people order, but you didn't order, nor did anyone in your organization order. You have fallen off. So make sure you don't lie to yourself. Thank you, lying to me. I'm gonna tell you the truth. You're falling off. I know you're falling off. I don't even count you in my corporate business numbers. I just happen to love you. Get the big difference? So therefore, but because it is a business, that's why I tell people, like, hey, no disrespect, but this is my business. Y'all know I'm coming to work right now, right? You know, it's like some people going to a meeting. I'm going to work. This is my work. This is what I do. This is my vision, making people wealthy. Who would want to do anything different? I'm like, and here's the catch. It ain't selling you a policy where I get paid regardless. This policy says you got to succeed or I don't either. So that means we're the realest form of business partners that will ever be. When you are rowing a boat together, if we all are rowing this side, we are going in a circle, huh? But I need that side to row too. So we have both sides rowing so we go straight. But even if it's just me, when I hit turbulence, I'm like, I'm not strong enough to do it by myself. So I need others who will say, I got you too, brother Paul, let's go. And before you know it, everybody is wealthy. You get this? Everybody. That's the plan. However, I also know why poverty exists. That's why I wrote the book who told you you're broke. I could really get in to teach everybody about their heritage, but that's another private counsel. But once you get what happened to your ancestors, then you won't sit here and say it's going to take 40 years or on an 11-day journey. When I tell you it can happen in 8 weeks, the only reason it's not happening in 8 weeks because of the schedule. You can go look at your schedule and say, wow, all of this stuff maintains me to stay where I'm at, but it does nothing to advance where I could be. So therefore, that's why we say we have to audit our schedules. Well, what would make you do that? Believe you'll succeed. There's no reason to audit your schedule or reschedule yourself or better organize yourself if you don't believe you're going to succeed anyway. You know, all you've done is just brought on something else to do. But when you clean in a closet, you'll always find something that you don't wear anymore. You'll always see some shoes like, I ain't wore them in years, throw them out, give them to salvation. Right or right? When you are getting set to schedule, you have to look into yourself. You have to be truthful with yourself and not lie to yourself. We do in society put on a certain appearance, but it has to get to a point where you say, you know what? This is my reality, though. And I want to shape my reality, not the perception of my reality. I want my stuff to be real 100%. You get this? Don't be the guy in the Matrix that's like, man, this, I don't care. I know it's fake, but just give me all the fake stuff. You know, Period had a dude give me a Burberry tie one day. It was nice too. I love them. I said, man, for real, don't just get me a no-name tie, but don't go get me a Burberry tie that ain't a real Burberry tie. You know what I mean? Well, I don't buy nothing fake for me. You get what I'm saying? So it's like I wear authentic Paul Jones slacks. You know, you better get it. So when you understand who told you were broke, that should make you mad that you listened to. That should bring some personal pride. And as the book talks about, now it's time for your new revolution. You know, you get into a new revolution. You like, I see things different. Now let me go to a new level. Then you have to schedule it. That's why that's why this is up here and that's down there. This understanding yourself and who told you to be where you are has to come first. Because when you go to schedule, the things that got you broke in the first place will always mess up the schedule. So you must identify well, what's held you up. Then move forward and say, now let me schedule more appropriately. So therefore, you're scheduling your success. You on the same page? Mm-hmm. But do you believe you'll succeed? Yeah. Because myself and William can teach and talk and train till we're blue in the face. But if it's a person who don't believe, you ain't got nothing coming. You get what I'm saying? This is a business. We want to see you succeed. We want to break people off for you. You almost setting them up, bringing them to a Tuesday night on time just to impress and getting them in there and then sitting back and you're like, This is William Rocky. He's about to clobber you in a minute. This is Paul Jones. He's about to let you have it in a minute. This is Antonio Locke. He's about to break down a cash flow quadrant like never before. You get that? When they see a high level of professionalism, speaking all consistently going in the same direction, and you know that's your presentation too, right? When you are also in that presentation seeing, and we're in agreement, there's power that comes with agreement. So therefore, even if that one person doesn't agree, because we all have the power of agreement, it binds that one. So even if they just want out, they're like, go, get it. But they can't say nothing crazy. Now, it's crazy folks that still speak out of turn, don't get me wrong, but they get the bigger vision. But that still means don't go begging people, tell people. Like, you need to do this. This is real. This has never happened before. I put all the words in your mouth anyway. We're the first company to be a food distribution company ever that's in the home business. There's companies that got this, there's companies that got that, but there isn't a company that's a dedicated, we are a foods company, not a gimmick company. We're not just saying, oh, we're just organic, or we're just vegan, we're just gluten-free, we're just, no, we all of that and then some, tall, dark, and handsome. You know? So, because why? Well, think about it. What is the American public? Everything. I'll admit, I really don't even eat a lot of pork. I will kill a pork chop and I will kill some ribs. But it's around certain times. You know what I mean? Memorial Day, I'm going to probably eat a slab by myself, okay? Let me just tell the truth and shame the devil. But other than that, I usually do the turkey bacon. I usually do the turkey sausage. You get what I'm saying? But there are some people who's like, dude, give me some ribs. Give me some sausage. Give me this every day. Is this a business or what? This is a business, right?
Yeah.
McDonald's has a McRib sandwich. Right? I don't eat it either, but they got it. And it's been coming off and on for years. That means it must be selling. You get what I'm saying? They got the big quarter pounder burger. They even went to a nice salad and some apples in your Happy Meal. And you get what I'm saying? They play. Is it working for them? They had the biggest one out there. You get my point? So we way above McDonald's grade, but I want you to realize this. Believe you will succeed. If you believe you will succeed, you're going to have to jump over some hurdles. Look, the hurdle ain't high off the ground. Some of us, we just got to move. Do y'all realize that movement, just a little movement gets you there? So all I want you to do is just say, okay, I'm going for it. Sometimes it takes 1,000 tries to win. People go one time, they quit. One thing I hate is, and I think it's even in Schedule for Success somewhere, stop and then go. Stop and then go. People stop, then they go. And they go hard, then they stop. And it's like, if you don't know how to balance your life, it's like, I don't understand how a person can be close to me and they come and say, man, but boy, I got some problems. I got to take care of some stuff right now. And I'm like, so all that time I was saying schedule for success. And it even says schedule because there's going to be certain things that are going to come that you're going to have to deal with. It's a chapter on that. So I sit back and look, I'm like, you know, I actually write my books. You know, some people hire somebody. I actually do write them. That's why they ain't all, you know, just being. I get tired of writing after so long. I like actually write them. I'm sitting there like, so yeah, a problem is going to come. The problem I had this morning, I forgot the webcam. But not only that, because I scheduled, I got here at 8:15. But you know, the bridge is out. So I had to do extra to get back home to get the webcam. Of those who are watching, you better be watching too, wherever. Pay attention, don't look at nothing else, because I had to drive, I had to go miles. It's snowing in Minnesota, and all that. You know, they say I had to walk miles to school. It was like that kind of morning for me. But I still had to do it to make sure that you could see this right now. It's like, why? So something happened that threw off the schedule, but because I accounted for that, we were able to still get the ball rolling. Do y'all get this?
Yes.
So when you run a schedule, you got to know it's like, okay, I allow time so I can relax. I allow time not to be stressed doing stuff. Because if you run so tight, I promise you something's going to break. And when it breaks, all hell breaks out, literally, against you. So you map your stuff out, you do everything, and then you go and it's like, I took that out. Went out of town last week, took all of that stuff out of my bag. It's at home. I ain't sit there and be like, oh man, what am I going to do? I got on my grind. That's what I saw to get stuff, and I went in there and I lost my mind. I was talking to my daughter. She worked there too at the Caribou down there in Lakeville, and I got talking to everybody's festive. They know me. I'm like a movie star. Everybody know me. You know what I'm saying? So I walked in. They like Mr. Jones. I'm high-fiving and all that. They just do that on regular because I'm the only player in the neighborhood. So it's just the way it goes. They used to them like me out there. So therefore, I got distracted. I'm like, turn them over, man. Get the drinks. Come on, let's go. And all we did was feed people per week. But do you believe it may take more than just the person you're speaking to? People are like, oh, you're working on this one guy. You're working on this one guy. Did you tell him? So yeah, move on. You know, as simple as that. I go up to a girl in the club. We're like, hey, look, baby, I'm the best man in the house tonight. You may not understand that. You won't go home with me or not. You're crazy. Yes or no? I ain't got time to be playing. Why? Because the night time don't stop. You understand? I got an agenda to keep. You know, so you gotta realize what you do. What's your purpose for that night? I got an agenda to keep. I came here for one purpose. I don't drink. I don't smoke. You know, so why am I in here? For you, girl. Come on. Right? So sometimes I've always been focused. I know where I want to go. I know what I want to do. I'm focused. When you start speaking a different language, I'm not going there. Y'all get this? I got to speak to 1,000 people or take 1,000 tries. Go ahead and take them. You'll only do that though if you believe. You get that? If you don't really believe, and oh, this is too hard. $1 million? $1 million? How you gonna tell me it's too hard to make it? You ain't never had $1 million. Huh? See, I was just caught up in the thought of it that I had neither. And then once I got it, I was like, oh, this is nice. And then I would tell others, they're like, oh, people make excuses. Oh, Paulie, you got everybody. You know, babies was born yesterday. And you said I got everybody. And I'm like, they're going to turn 18. So that means I will be in for everlasting remembrance because as long as this earth remains, seed time and harvest shall not cease. So as long as the reproductive system will happen, which it will, you get what I'm saying? Because Brother Wallace is up in the house. He knows how. He got that old man playing. Look, I saw you looking at that. He looked up at that. Girl, you don't know. Back in the day. Great people, y'all. You gotta see it on how simple and easy it is. Why? Because I'm not going to speak any other words. People, oh man, it ain't that easy. No. I believe. So if it beats anything I've ever done, then I'm going to make this easy. That means I may need to speak to more people. I may need to schedule more time to speak to more people. I can't believe I'm broke. I got to believe different because once you understand who told you were broke, you realize that was someone that hates you. So why would you submit to someone who hates you in the first place? I mean, think about it. If someone doesn't want you to succeed, how do you be their worst nightmare? Succeed. So you welcome all haters then. Like, oh, you hating on me? Boy, it's going to be fun. You don't turn and argue and fight with the hater. You go ahead and succeed and you wag your tail at the hater. You with me? I got to keep y'all awake this morning. When you know you're going to make it, you say, okay, that's what Jesus meant when he said, shake the dust off against them. You know, as players say, click your heels, girl, and keep going, right? Shake the dust off against them and keep on going. It's like, why? You're not going to sit there and be like, well, they said, who told them? You know what I'm saying? Who told them? Somebody else who's trying to hire them into something else, maybe? Or somebody else who's jealous of you in the first place. You must be mindful that there are some people, I got family members who I know. I called one, I said, man, I'm starting a business under mom, and I'm going to turn his phone services on. I'm doing something right now. I don't want to miss my phone line. But okay, I paid for it for a whole year. No, I don't want to do it. I said, fool, you hate me so bad right now that I said, I'm going to give you free phone service for a year. And your hate is so enormous that you wouldn't even be wise enough to take free phone service. So therefore, that hit me. When you tell somebody, I'll pay for you, let's go. And they still say, I don't know, I got to think about it. You better think about it for real. So now you didn't think about it. You just informed me on something that I wasn't aware of. People don't have financial problems. Y'all get that out of your heads. They have mental problems. They crazy. You would have to be crazy to be okay with being broke, knowing you can do something about it and choose to stay broke. That's crazy. I can't do nothing but respect them and stay away from them. But that's crazy. But you realize that when people get into that war with me, it's like, you know what? That's a mental issue. Because I'm working on something here. And I believe if you actually go get your 3 and be as aggressive as you saying something don't work, be the opposite of as aggressive saying they do. 3 people. Help them get 3. We just work in 2 levels, y'all. You see how simple this is? 2 levels. They get their 3, 9 people. So that means you up here, you're done. So you become a coach, a leader, a trainer, or organizer. You see what I'm saying? You're the one that may deal with the upline leader. You're the one that may send corporate the emails to get answers to real questions. Don't send no hypotheticals to corporate because you're like, well, just in case someone asks that, you realize you're wasting time now. Let a person hit you with a question, and then you posture up. Be okay, so I don't know the answer to that question. But I do know this. If I go ahead and teach 3 people, I'm spitting all over. See, I get to salivating. Think about that meat. If I teach 3 people how to eat, I get paid. You got a problem with that? You tell them 3 people to eat, they get paid. Then all of a sudden, you got to hit them back with stuff. Well, I mean, what's the quality of the food? I'm like, well, where you shop that on? Get them to think. Where you get your meat at now? I mean, you know, the wife get it, so you don't even know. Why does it matter? You ain't getting paid. You sitting there eating, your wife done sat there and cooked up something. You don't know if that's dog food in there. It's good, baby. You don't know, man. That's what I'm looking at folks like, when you quit tripping, you can't get it no easier than this. I believe we are the simplest business on the planet. You're going to eat, tell 3 other people to eat, we're paying you to eat.